On the previous episode of Devil's Staircase, we went on a steep and rugged off-trail journey to find the elusive waterfall. Making our way through obstacles made us travel slow, and by the time we got to the creek, it was becoming late in the day. We made our way around each obstacle, hoping we would make it to the Devil's Staircase waterfall. In the end, we decided to give up on this day, and we didn't get to see the Devil's Staircase waterfall. We had a pretty tough day getting down to the creek, and knew the way back wouldn't be as easy. It is good to be able to give up on a day and try again another time. On our way in, I had lost my machete, which was one of the factors that made us turn around. It seemed impossible to find in such a large and dense forest, but we attempted to look on the way back.
Yes, I found my missing knife.
I was relieved to find my beloved tool.
I don't know how this happened, but somehow going through here, I must have bent over and it slipped out.
The way back was tough. We had to crawl uphill with no trail other than what we had made on our way in. We could have started earlier, giving us more daytime to explore the wilderness. One problem is that wildlife is much more active during the morning. It is always a relief to get back to the car after a tough day.
Hey, Soka. What's up, pup?
Before even getting home, I was already thinking about my next Devil's Staircase attempt. Information on the Devil's Staircase is scarce, as not many have been there. There have been some trails shared online. It is hard to say if these are good paths, and things can always change over time. There are many ways that people have taken to get to the waterfall. This is because there is no trail, signs, or much information out there at all. I do not want to be the first one to share, so I will not be showing my exact path. The best method in situations like this is to stay on a ridge, giving you a gradual slope to travel on. There is no doubt that one day there will be a path down one of these ridges. A good day finally came for me to attempt Devil's Staircase again. Though on this day there was a lot of rain expected, which would add to the difficulty. On this trip I was joined by Mike. Mike has been in the area for a long time and has been to the Devil's Staircase before. With an off-trail adventure, the best thing to do is go with someone who has been before. Mike had a slightly different path to the staircase than my previous attempt.
Once we get to the actual trail.
Just like in my last attempt, we saw these colored ribbons which marked someone's path. These ribbons can be helpful, but also can be misleading. We followed these on my last attempt, and that was not a great path eventually. Safety is one of the main arguments to make an actual established trail. While the rain made for scarce wildlife, there was an abundance of wild mushrooms. After miles of downhill navigation, we found ourselves on part of Wasson Creek. From here, we follow the creek down until hitting the Devil's Staircase waterfall. The walk down Wasson Creek was tough. There were a lot of downed trees, just like my last trip. We varied our path based on the driest option.
There's a dam.
The sides of the creek had very dense plant life, but a few times that was the best way through. A trail could be made on these sides. Personally, I think it's fun to not have a trail at a few of our wildernesses.
A note. Like a date.
In addition to markers, we found writing on one, showing names and a date. We continued to get more wet as the day went on. Waterproofing helped, but at some point, we would get wet anyways. Fluvial geomorphology is the study of how the force of rivers changes the land. One example of that is the circular rock holes, or potholes, all around Devil's Staircase. These are formed when the creek's water spins a rock in place, which eventually grinds out a circle. After one of many turns around the creek, we saw a small single waterfall. This indicated that we were right on top of Devil's Staircase waterfall. After trying twice, it felt great to finally reach the Devil's Staircase Falls. Mike said the bigger pool at the staircase was about 20 feet deep. Some of the staircase steps required climbing to get down. Mixing climbing with slippery rock and water features can be very dangerous. We found one small cave overhang at the staircase to stay out of the rain.
Oh yeah. Good drive. Fire.
Being a tough and wet day makes it hard to get your best shots with a camera. I had a short amount of time to capture the Devil's Staircase. After getting some shots, I left the camera covered and checked out the bottom of the staircase. The ground at the staircase was wet vegetation and rock. When walking, you should take each step very carefully. A look from the bottom shows how staircase-like this waterfall feature really is. It was a great feeling to reach such an elusive natural feature. Many have failed to reach the staircase, including myself. The stairs themselves are made of sandstone. This lighter rock made it easier for the creek to form the staircase and potholes. Wasson Creek supports salmon, trout, and steelhead runs. Staircase waterfalls like this make for really easy natural fish ladders. I could have spent all day here, but it was a little too wet to stay and be comfortable. With the heavy rain coming down, it was time to make our way back. While we made it to our destination of the waterfall, this is only a small part of the larger Devil's Staircase wilderness. There is a lot more untouched land to explore here. It is great that there is always a new wild place to explore. Devil's Staircase is definitely a tough adventure. If you are going, be sure to practice and prepare. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you think Devil's Staircase needs an episode 3.